bleeding at the end of the weekend. So I didn't want that to happen. So I knew a Dr. Charles Thomas. And Dr. Charles Thomas told me if you come down with a sore throat, he told me how to treat that. And so he told me take a t-shirt. You see I've got a t-shirt right here. And I've torn off the arms on it, right? And I've torn off the length of it. So all I want is just the part that covers the lung. Get that in cold water. Wring it out so it doesn't drip. Put it on. And then you put over top of it a tight-fitting sweater. Okay, so here I'm going to put a tight-fitting sweater on. Over top of that, and I go to bed. It feels absolutely awful. It's horrible. Wet, cold shirt, with a sweater over top. But it didn't last long. You know, it only lasted for about 10 minutes of feeling kind of cold and clammy. The body warms up. The body is going to bring blood down to the surface of the skin over the lung to warm it up. It's called a heating compress. Again, the same as what I put on the person's knee, but I put it on the chest. Next morning I woke up, I lectured for 4 hours that day. The next day I lectured for 4 hours. No sore throat, cleared the lung right up, cleared the cold right up. So heating compress, are you with me? Something simple. You can have this, you've got that in your own home. You tear off the arms. You don't want the cold down the arm. You just want to use it, just cover the chest area. And you see that? Worked on that? Put it on over top? Yes, sir.
Why would you use that heating compress method, like you first showed us, and like this, instead of the fomentation?
Okay, because I didn't have anybody to do the fomentation for me. So I was by myself. I flew over to the place I was going to lecture. I had a t-shirt and I had a sweater, so I did that
Just
on
do it
myself.
yourself.
Just did it all by myself. I didn't need it.
Do
If I had
I-
been at home and I had somebody who could do the fomentations on me, I would have done the fomentations. But this works. What I'm saying is this works when you have to have it. You
By
use this, right?
yourself.
If you're by yourself, you use this as well.
Is the fomentation better though?
The fomentation is deeper. And you can see the color. This will not bring that color that you see there. You're definitely not. I mean, if you've got a person with COPD, you've got a person with pneumonia, you've got a person with asthma, you've got a person that's got really compromised lungs, you would want to do that. This is a sore throat. There's a difference. So I just got a sore throat coming on, and I know I'm going to be lecturing, and I'm going to have, get a raw throat from it. So this.
For the hot and cold, that's okay for pregnant women?
You mean on the pregnancy itself, on the chest, it would be okay, for sure.
No, the effect, contractions and stuff.
I would do it on the chest, but I wouldn't do it on the stomach or where the baby is or whatever. It's like that. I mean, if you had a doctor that advised you for that, I wouldn't do that.
But the contraction.
On the stomach, on the chest.
Okay.
I can speak from experience. I did it all while I was pregnant.
Oh,
and
okay.
I did hot and cold. I would go and I did cold plunging. I did a hot tub for 5 minutes and a cold plunge for up to 10 minutes. Pregnant.
Wow, okay, good.
And baby's healthy as ever. So yes, if you're healthy and you're okay, but if there's something going on with your health and you're pregnant, maybe you should be
Cautious. Okay, thank you.
Question?
So I guess, if someone has fibrosis,
In the lung? Yeah, that would be okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it would help. You would need to have more circulation even with the fibrosis. You need to have some kind of circulation there. So that's going to increase. What you're after is increasing the circulation. Okay.
I would just ask quickly, when is it dangerous to use hot and cold?
Yeah. That's nice.
There are probably, if a person's, okay, we do what we call Dr. Thrash
Maybe lung
said her
cancer.
favorite treatment, if she had only one treatment, so I went down to Dr. Thrash's and she said if I only had one treatment, that's all I could have, it would be the hot foot bath.
Yes.
So I have here what I would call the hot foot bath. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put in there the hottest possible water you can. You're going to get it as hot as you can. You're going to have the person put their feet in hot water. I would prefer this to be deeper. If I was going to be treating a person, I'd rather have it so that you could get it about this deep, or a 5-gallon pail or something like that, and fill it up. So it comes up to about here. The more surface that you can get with the circulation, the better. Now, if somebody asks me, well, what would you not do it for? If a person had diabetes, you wouldn't do a hot foot bath with them because their blood circulation is not working right. And they also can't, sometimes they can't even feel the temperature of the water. So they can't tell you whether it's too hot or too cold or whatever it is like that. So you want to have a caution for that. I have with me a book We sell it at the guest house called Hydrotherapy Manual. Those of you who know how, you can get it from Weimar Institute. We have copies at the guest house. But this is very well done. It tells you the indications and contraindications. So there may be that somebody has a reason why you shouldn't be doing it on that person, and that'll go through it, and it'll tell you that, gives you both. And it's I've had a number of different hydrotherapy manuals. This one I like the best because it's simple to read. It's clear, concise, very, very, and they're only like $20, okay? So you can get them very, 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 very.
Can I add something? So basically, any like if they had neuropathy, would that be?
Yeah,
another
that's
reason
when
why
you wait
not
for hot
to?
and cold. That's
Yeah.
the same reason. That's
Yeah.
right. If you have neuropathy, if you have anything where you can't feel,
Yeah.
yeah, so
You
you're
can't
not going to be
feel,
hot and cold.
because they can't tell you.
Also cancer, you can't.
Yes. Yeah, that's right, exactly. You're not going to put it on cancer, dysmenorrhea, or something like that. You're not going to do it on those things. So there's some cautions, but the majority of people, you're going to be able to do it with them on fine. Okay. Okay, so now let's carry on with the.
Can I just, there's a couple questions, so let's maybe save them for the end. Can I add one thing about the chest?
Yes, sure.
So for like growing up, how we always were raised, we're doing it, and what I've done for my children is just cold, and then some plastic, and then wool.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do front and back, and it's
Oh.
still been very effective, so do you
Sure, you're
ever?
talking about just the heating compress.
Just, so we do like, I've done it on my babies where I just have the little cotton wet, then
Yeah.
some plastic, and then wool, and then I wrap them in their like onesie and put them to bed. And it's
Yeah.
made a huge difference. So
Wow.
that's not the whole thing, and that's still effective. I can see that you're saying a full shirt, so you're getting
Yeah.
front and back. That's even better.
The whole lot.
But you could even just do the front, and I found with my children, I still had a lot of relief for a sore throat or chest infection, whether coughing or whatnot.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
So I have that thing here as well for someone who's just got a sore throat and they're at home. They aren't going to be lecturing or anything like that, so they just want to deal with the throat. So what I have here is simply this, which is a piece of cotton, right? That length, dip it in cold water, wrap it around the neck, and a piece of wool, wrap that around and pin it in place and go to bed. I was in the hospital in Vernon talking to the nurse, and the nurse had a sore throat, and so I told her this. I said, well, why don't you do this? Take a piece of cotton cloth, wrap it around your throat, put a piece of wool around it. And she was listening intently to me, and then she turned to the doctor, and she said to the doctor, would that work? He said, of course it would work. It would increase your circulation. That's what you really want. So he thankfully, he said, yeah, that'll work. And so that just increasing your circulation, you're going to do that on the person's throat, and it'll help. If you don't have, sometimes you don't have, you say, well, I don't have that. You don't have this piece of wool. What am I going to do? Well, if your husband or you have a wool sock that's clean, that's all you need, right? Same thing, just wrap the wool sock around it, it'll work. It's just, all you gotta do is keep it warm, keep the cotton cloth warm on the outside, and the body will do the rest. It'll bring the fresh blood into that area, and that's really what you want. You want to bring in fresh blood. It's all about the circulation of the blood, okay? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want, stress, we want to show you another one.